What's good, YouTube? Chad back with another video, but this video is a little bit different. I'm actually live this time. I don't do a lot of live streams. I've actually done a live stream in several months, but I'm back. We're going to start doing this. I'm starting a new series. This is actually going to be me highlighting beautiful women that have inspired me over the years. Some of my good friends, some are people that I've known just through business. But my very first guest, I'm excited about. I've known her for almost 15 years now, going up pushing 15 years. We used to work together. She's just an amazing woman. She's a wife. She's a mom. She's super intelligent. She has mad skills. And I'm just in the armor of her. And I'm happy to have her on tonight. This is our first live stream together. And I hope we're gonna have many more. So with no further ado, let's bring on Miss Crystal Payne Rogers.
I love that you put Payne in there.
What's going on? Hey.
Nothing much. What's up with you?
Welcome to nothing much, man. Welcome to the live stream. I'm happy you're here with me. How you been doing?
Yeah, you hyped me up a little bit.
Oh man, no, it's well deserved. You've been doing amazing things. Listen, man. I've been watching you from afar for a long time. Like I said, we know each other, but life gets in the way. And you really inspire me. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a lot of people out here that's talking the talk, but they ain't really walking the walk. And you one of those that do it. And I'm really inspired by that. Just want you to know that.
Well, that means a lot to me because I feel like imposter syndrome is just always plaguing my life. Yeah. You never feel like you're doing enough. You never feel like you're good enough. And you're constantly criticizing yourself and trying to figure out ways to grow and evolve. Right. So it's nice when someone on the outside is like, girl, you're doing it. We see you.
Oh yeah. I want to share a little story with you. You may not know this. I don't think I ever told you this, but when I first, we used for y'all that's watching, me and Crystal used to work together at Geico, long time ago. And I'll never forget it. I always want to share this story with you, but since we're here now, I'm gonna do it.
Okay. Yeah.
So like when we have to go through training, right? Like when we first get hired, we have to go through the sales training and all that jazz. And before you get ready to come on the floor, you got to go through all the different training. But once you get ready to get done,
It's actually pretty intense for those that don't know.
Yeah, it's super intense. Like, yeah, it's like military style.
Yes.
Like for real. But so I don't know if that's your first week on the floor, right? You come through and you've always had a different vibe than everybody else, right? So me and my group, my section, I happened to be working that day. And
I can remember who your people are.
Yeah. But God rest his soul, I think Merritt was there. And there was a few other guys. And you come walking through and everybody like, yo, who is that? We on the phone, right? We taking calls, but we put customers on hold. They're like, yo, who is that? And I talked to my customer. I was like, hold on for a second, sir. And I put him on mute. I took my headphones in. I was like, she mine. That's who that is. So y'all need to step back.
Oh my God.
But no, we've been friends.
Always made me feel like I was very important.
So
I was on a run every day at Geico, thanks to all of y'all.
Yeah, man. I don't miss that place, and there's nothing wrong with it. It's a good place for people to work, but it just still wasn't for me. It wasn't for us. It wasn't for me.
Yes.
But
yeah.
I made some lifelong.
I think it provides a lot of opportunity in an area that needs opportunity. Yeah. And I've met some wonderful people through Geico. One of my very best friends to this day, I met her at Geico.
Right.
And she's a huge part of my life. And then I met you and Merritt. Oh, I miss Merritt so much. I miss you guys' arguments on my Facebook. It's not the same anymore.
Yeah, I miss Merritt too, man. He helped me through some tough days. We was kind of trying to hold each other up through some tough times. But yeah, I miss the crew, man. I don't know if I still talk to Tidy. I still talk to you, Brittany.
Yeah, I don't talk to Tidy anymore, but I definitely thought about him when you were talking about the group. Tidy definitely comes to mind.
Yeah, matter of fact, I set up appointments. You know, it's so hard to get y'all to get together, but I try to get with Brittany and Tidy and all them to get some lunch or dinner or meal or whatever.
Hmm.
It's just so hard. Our schedules are so crazy. But I'm like, we need to make time because you never know what's going to happen. Like,
You
like I'm,
really don't, because
yeah,
Merritt was completely unexpected.
yeah,
And
right,
I
right.
kept thinking, I was like, why haven't I seen him in all of these years? And because you really don't, life is so short.
Yep,
It's short anyway. And now we're in the middle of
right,
a pandemic.
right.
And so life seems even shorter and
Yep.
more valuable.
Oh yeah, it's crazy, man. So I'm happy. Nevertheless, I'm happy that we on here together. This is a moment in time that I will always cherish close to me. Um, like
Excited. You're the first person I've said yes to. So that says something.
I appreciate it, fam. We like, you know what I'm saying? We go way back. So I appreciate that. We down like 4 flat tires. So this is not all about me. You know, we're not going to talk about me much. I just, like I said, I want to spotlight you. This is the series that I've decided to start. I want to highlight beautiful women in business, right? And you out here doing, you know, amazing things, and you growing your business, and you, like I said, you're a mom, your wife, you know, you nobody help you with nothing. You doing all this, juggling all these activities, and that, you know, I commend you. I respect you for that, because that's not easy to do. And you know, me and you go way back. And you was a single
I was gonna
mom,
say, you know the Crystal before all of this, so
right?
you
Right.
definitely know
You know
the
what I'm saying?
process and
I
the
know who you are.
struggle and the growth. Yeah.
Right. It's just amazing to see you from where you were to where you are now. Like, I ain't gonna lie, man. You was pretty. You was kind of ratchet.
I mean, I hold you fully responsible for that ratchetness. I'm saying.
Uh, I was like, dang, man. And to see you all this, you like this beautiful swan now and all sophisticated. I was like, what?
The ratchet is still there, though. Don't you
Yeah,
worry.
I know you still got it in you. I see some of your
Yeah,
posts.
it's not going nowhere.
Yeah, nah, it's embedded. It's deep down in your
It
soul.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
and I think it's important for
yeah,
that to be embedded. It keeps you humble.
yeah, for sure, for sure. So let's get to it, man. Let's get to it. All right, let's start at the beginning, man. Let the people know where Crystal's from, like where you originated from, where you were born at, like where you started out at.
So I was born and raised in good old Memphis, Tennessee.
Hmm.
um, Definitely the hard life of
Yeah,
Memphis.
yeah.
The first 48, that's how I grew up.
Wow, wow. Yeah, okay, yeah.
So definitely very humble beginnings. I was raised by my grandparents. My parents were 15 when they had me, and my mom was a foster child. So they left me with my grandparents to raise me for obvious reasons.
Hmm.
Um, and I think I moved away when I was 17.
Okay. Wow. So
And
go
go
ahead.
ahead.
But so like so you're 17 years old. You moved away. Um,
Mhm.
did you move out on way on by yourself, or did you have like roommates, or like did you have a job, or you just like left? Like how, you know what I'm saying? Like what did
So
you
I
do?
actually had a family member that kind of made it out, so
Oh,
to
okay.
speak. People always talk about, if you did it, anybody can do it. But
Hmm.
that's not really true. I'm the exception, not the rule. Most people in situations like I came from do not make it out, and they don't. The main reason is because they don't have anyone to help them. They don't have guidance. They don't have mentorship. The resources when you grow up in extreme poverty are very different from
Yeah,
resources that my kids, for example, are experiencing.
yeah.
So I had a family member who had done really well for herself, and I just told her that I saw something different for my life.
Hmm.
And she allowed me to move in with her. And that was definitely what completely changed my life. Not immediately, because I'm hard headed and a rebellion.
Yeah.
So
Yes, you. Yeah, that's true.
yeah, shit went real south before it got good.
I got you.
But because of her, I moved to Charlotte, North Carolina, and she kind of just taught me some things about life,
I got you.
um, about being a responsible person, an upstanding person, and um,
Yeah.
I would say that's really where life started for me. Was when I moved away from Memphis. I
Uh,
was 17, maybe
17.
18.
Okay. Okay.
But then of course, I went back.
Okay. So you went back to Memphis after you was in North Carolina for a little bit.
Yes, when
Okay.
I got pregnant with my first son, Corey,
Right.
um,
Okay.
I went back to Memphis for a couple of years before
Oh,
I ended up moving with his dad.
okay.
Well,
So,
that's where I met you.
all right. So, okay. So you back in Tennessee. You're pregnant
Mhm.
with Corey. All right. So
Yes.
now, what made you decide? When you came back to Tennessee, did you come to Georgia after that? Like, or did you go to another state?
Yeah.
So that's how you.
So,
Okay. What made you come to Georgia?
so you know this, but for the people,
Right.
Jerome was like my high school sweetheart, so to speak, except we didn't go to the same high school because I was homeschooled. Awful thing.
Yeah.
But we met when I was maybe 15. We dated for, I mean, overall we dated for 10 years off and on, but I think we had been together maybe 4 or 5 years when I got pregnant with Corey. So when I got pregnant with Corey, I moved back to Memphis, and then Jerome and I decided we wanted to try to be a family.
Yeah.
And he was in the military stationed in Warner Robins at the time. So that's how I ended up in Georgia.
I got you. Okay. So you love the military, man. So yeah.
I guess so. Or they love me, you know.
I got you. All right. So you in Georgia, and you got your little family going and whatnot. Now at this time, were you working, or you were just kind of being at home because he was military, or like how did that plan
I
out for you?
worked. I worked. I
Okay.
think I actually wasn't in Georgia very long before I ended up at Geico. I
Okay.
think when I first moved, I don't even remember what I was doing before Geico.
Okay. All
But
right.
I do remember when I moved to Geico, or when I moved to Georgia, when I was asking around about employment, everybody said, you should work for Geico.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I'm going to work for Geico.
Got you.
And I
Okay.
did.
All right. So that's cool. That's cool. All right. So we're gonna keep moving along. Like I said, we don't want to do this keep you too long. But next question for you, like, okay, so you're at Geico, right? At at what point, like in your mind, corporate America is great for a lot of people, but for some people it just don't sit well. You know what I'm saying? Like, had you
Yeah,
always had that entrepreneur spirit, or you just got rubbed
always,
the wrong way? It's always been there.
always,
Okay.
always. I mean, so here's the thing about growing up in poverty and growing up with parents who have no idea how to be parents. I say this humbly because I'm incredibly humble,
Right.
but I was a brilliant kid and nobody saw it.
Right.
I was also a troublemaker. I was very troubled. So I was always in trouble, always doing the wrong thing, but I was extremely intelligent.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but no one ever wanted to hear me because I was annoying. And this is actually something I struggle with my youngest son because he's so much like me. He's so brilliant, so creative, so intelligent, but his personality is very abrasive. He's
Right.
very dominant. Um,
I wonder where he
you
gets
know,
that from.
exactly. He's my twin. So um,
Yeah.
it's kind of always been there, but I had no idea what to do with it, and I had no guidance. And most everyone in my family didn't even graduate high school. Nobody had good jobs. I mean, I think my grandmother worked at the cleaners, my
Wow.
grandfather delivered pizzas. My mom never worked. My dad did construction when he wasn't doing drugs.
Right.
So there was always something there. I always knew that I wanted to be more than
Right.
my surroundings.
I feel you.
And in my spirit, I thought that I was special, but everyone told me that I wasn't.
Yeah.
Um, Basically, they told me I would never make it, and that you know
Why do you why
lots
do
of
you why do you think people have that kind of mindset though? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like society, I feel like I'm not trying to cut you off. I just had a thought. Like,
oh no, please,
in society.
please,
So like you said, growing up, people never gave you that push to, hey, you could be whatever you want to be. Just put your mind
yeah,
to it. You never got that feedback. You never got that boost of confidence from family members and people around your area. It's like everybody's trying to hold each other down. But I think the old way of thinking is just so outdated. Like,
yeah,
go to school, get a good job, stay at
mm-hmm,
that job forever. Have
mm-hmm.
a few kids, 3 or 4 kids, and just work there. And like that, to me, that's just don't make sense to me. You know what I mean? And I just never felt that way myself. So I just don't.
Me either. And I
Yeah.
definitely do not raise my kids that way.
Right.
You know, Corey wants to be a professional athlete,
Yeah.
and I encourage that. As you know, you watch
Yeah.
me on social media. We invest a lot in Corey being an athlete because we really believe that you can be whatever you want to be. I'm an example of that. My
Right.
husband is an example of that. And even his dad, you know, Jerome and I have our issues, but he's a great dad, and he's been very successful in life as well. So I don't necessarily teach Corey to have a backup plan,
Right.
but I do teach him that, especially as a young black kid, I'm like, you don't have to be an athlete. You're incredibly intelligent. You can be the CEO of a company. So we talk to him about other outlets besides sports, just
Mm-hmm.
because I mean, you know, short sports is a short-lived thing. It's
Right.
not a long-term career, and it is a kind of a one in a million type thing, but we don't ever want to make him feel like we're limiting him. Why limit him? Why
Absolutely.
not encourage his greatness and support him being great?
Right.
And honestly, at this point, I mean, he may never go pro, but we definitely think he'll play college level ball, and he'll probably get a scholarship for it.
Well, that's awesome.
Um,
I mean,
and can
I'm
you
I
imagine
know.
what would happen if we discouraged him from playing just because we're small minded and
Right.
can't see the potential?
Right. Right. See, that's what I love about you and your husband and your family. You're teaching your kids, like, when we were growing up, if you wasn't doing good in a certain particular subject, they want you to do more, work harder at that subject. But that's not the way to do it. Everybody's not designed to be a math, a math genius or a scientist or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Their strengths are somewhere else in creative side. They might be into modeling. They might
Yep.
be into sports, like your son Corey. Push that, make them be greater at that, and stop trying to make them be something, trying to fit a circle in a square hole or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just
Well,
crazy to me. So good.
one
That's
thing you know about me is
yeah,
I absolutely hate
yeah,
doing the norm or being the norm.
yeah,
So the most important thing to me when it comes to them is that they live a life that's authentic, because I think when you live authentically, you're happy.
right,
And I also want them to measure success by what success means to them, not even what it means to me,
right,
because I don't want them to live for me. I don't want them to live for my validation. I want them to live for themselves and to, measure success that way. I mean, I have my own standards of success, but that may not be theirs.
right. I got you. Okay, good, good, good. So let's talk about this a little bit. So you at Geico, you working. What there's a lot of pitfalls and a lot of obstacles when you're trying to lift your own business and get you started. Like, did you start like doing some modeling or photo stuff, or what made you say, hey, I want to start my own makeup wedding business and get that stuff off the ground? Like, what was that point?
Okay, so this is a cool question because it's a fellow Geico person that got me into modeling. But to kind of go back to talking about what got me into makeup, so I have always wanted to do hair and makeup. When I was in kindergarten and people would say, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" I never said teacher or nurse. I was like, I want to make people pretty.
Right.
At the time, I had no idea what that meant.
Mm-hmm.
But I just knew that in some way I wanted to serve people in a way that allowed them to feel like the best version of themselves.
I got you.
So I was in high school when I knew for sure that I wanted to do hair and makeup.
Yeah.
Um, and of course, people think that it's all about vanity, but it's really not. For me, it was therapeutic because of some of the psychological abuse in my life. Makeup was this external thing that made me feel good about myself. Um, and I guess there is a level of vanity to that, but either way, I knew that that was something that I wanted to contribute to people's lives. So I don't know if you remember this or not. When I was working at Geico,
Yeah.
obviously I worked there full time during the day,
Mm-hmm.
but I was going to cosmetology school at night, every night after Geico.
I remember that. I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And it's 5 days a week. And then sometimes we had to work on the weekend. And I don't think we worked together on the weekend very much. But if you worked with me on the weekend, you knew I was sitting in my cubicle with a hair mannequin,
Right.
styling hair while I was taking phone calls.
Yeah.
So it definitely started there. But the way that I got into modeling was, you remember Robert Cheeseborough?
Yeah, I do remember Robert.
I mean, how could you forget that guy? Um, we're still friends. He's a great person, but he's the first person who ever took a professional photo of me. He would
Yeah.
tell me all the time that I should model. And he thought it would be a great introduction into the industry so that I could do hair and makeup,
Yeah.
because I was really struggling to get people to take me seriously as a hair and makeup artist. And he was like, well, people want to photograph you, so just start modeling and meet people that way. And that's actually exactly how it happened. He took my photos,
Yeah.
and then after that, things just evolved, and I was doing photo shoots all the time.
Wow. That's awesome. That's awesome. So you got the photos, you got photos going, you was doing photo shoots, and that was going along pretty good. Like, I want you to share with the people, like, just let them know, like, there's no steady positive straight road. Like, there's ups and downs, right? Like, there's
Oh
times
my
when I
God.
feel like you want to quit, right? Or like,
Well, I mean, on a personal level, you know what I was going through in the
right,
midst of all of that.
right,
I was going through a devastating separation with my son's dad, and it was extremely toxic. And I was missing a lot of work as a result of it.
mhm.
And I was at risk of being fired on more than one occasion because Geico doesn't give two shits about your real
Oh
life.
Lord have mercy. Who you
They
telling?
don't care nothing about your real life.
Yeah, no, they don't.
And
They don't.
management knew the extent of what I'm going through. And I'm going to, keep it PG
Yeah,
because I have a teenage son who might watch this, and we don't need to talk about everything, but
right.
it was a bad situation.
Mm.
And management knew what was going on, and there was a supervisor who who helped save my job. So,
Wow.
I'm working a full-time job. I'm going to school at night. My relationship is falling apart. Um, I'm dealing with these issues with my small child,
Yeah,
and no, it was not easy. I mean, not by a long shot.
not by a long shot. Wow, I see. That's interesting, man. So you got some amazing stories, and that's just just wow. How I love to hear those stories. How you're going through a lot. Like I said, I know a lot more behind the scenes stuff, but
Yeah.
just it's just amazing to see you. Like I said earlier, to go from what you had going on to now is just unbelievable to me. So you, um,
And you also know, like
go
me as a person at that time, I didn't believe in myself at
right,
all.
right,
I just felt like, I mean, when you were going through some of the things that I was going through, I had no self-worth, no value. And so I'm struggling to make something of my life when I don't feel like I deserve
right.
anything good out of life.
All right. So let me ask you this: when you have those low times in your life, right? Like when everything
Yes.
just is just falling, you hit the bottom. You at the bottom. Like what did you lean toward? Like what help? What did you hone into to help you get through those tough times? Like was it did you see therapy, or did you do like, I mean, what, everybody has a different thing. I had to go to therapy, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yes.
I
So,
needed therapy. I needed, a lot of prayer. But then I was, I'm gonna keep 100 with you. There's sometimes I was doubting, like I don't believe in, all this happening to me. Ain't nobody
oh,
upstairs. You know what I mean? Like
oh,
I lost my faith. So
oh, yes.
I had to lean on my family. So what did you do?
Me and God still have a very questionable relationship. But
Yeah, I'm with you.
at that particular stage of life,
Yeah,
church definitely got me through a lot of my hardships. And the other thing was, and this sounds awful, I had to separate myself from like everyone.
Mm-hmm.
that was in my life at the time,
Mm-hmm.
because everyone that was in my life at the time was part of this like toxic circle.
Yeah.
And they, unfortunately, when people are used to seeing you down, they have no idea how to see you up, and they're
Right.
not interested in helping you get up.
Right.
So I really, I mean, I was very, at that particular point, I was very alone. And I started to really kind of reevaluate who should be in my life and who shouldn't be in my life. And that's when some really, really, really important people came into my life, and everything really changed after that.
I got you. I got you. I hear you on that. So you got yourself
These
together.
are some good pictures you're showing.
Oh yeah, yeah. I got you. I got you.
Yeah, I like it.
Oh yeah, that's what's up, man. We family. We family for life. So check this out. So all right, you get through the hard times. You get through all that. You know, you're doing
Yep.
good. And you, when did you meet Mr. Rogers?
Around the time that life got really good. So, um, I think I think me and my ex had been separated for probably over a year, and I
Yeah.
had been doing a lot of self work. I also want to mention this because I think it's an important part of the journey, and just knowing that no matter where you come from,
Mm-hmm.
you can get anywhere you want to be. Like I was sleeping on couches at the time. There were a couple of nights that I slept in my car,
Yeah.
um, because I didn't have anywhere to go, and I didn't really have any money either. So life was really complicated.
Right. Right.
Um, but I started really um, just doing a lot of work on myself and understanding self worth and value. And then Alfonso, so I was modeling at the time,
Yeah.
and there was a group that I was modeling with. And the girl who ran that group was the sister of one of his best friends from high school. So he would see me tagged in her photos all the time on Facebook. And so he started asking about me.
Oh,
And then, of course, he started DMing me, and I ignored him.
he slipped into the DMs.
He slipped into the DMs and shot his shot. And I ignored him for the most for a little while, but I don't remember exactly what he said to me that really caught my attention. But we started talking, and we talked for probably 3 or 4 months,
Yeah.
just virtually and long distance, because he was deployed at the time. And
Uh.
then he came home from deployment. He's from Warner Robins, so he
Mhm.
was home visiting his mom, and he asked if we could meet. And we actually met out in Macon. What's that outdoor mall called?
Uh.
Wherever that is, that's
I
where
I
we
know you're
met.
talking about, but I can't think of the name of it right now.
Yeah. So we met there, and well, the rest is history.
The rest is freaking history. I hear you on that.
Yeah.
So okay, all right. I'm gonna get back to the business side in a minute, but I want to get a little bit of juicy sauce. So
Oh,
go
go
ahead.
for it.
Okay, so
Nothing's really off.
yeah,
Nothing's off top. Nothing's off limits. So
okay.
ask whatever you want to ask.
Okay. So obviously, in the picture here, for people that's watching, obviously, her husband is African American and he's military, so I salute him. I want to send a shout out to Mr. Rogers straight up. I appreciate you serving the country, bro. So if he watches this, man, I appreciate you straight up. And thank you for allowing, thank you for the wife being on the show and everything. That's what's up, man. That's real talk. That's real talk for real.
He's
Uh,
super supportive of
yeah,
everything I do,
one thousand
honestly.
percent. He's very supportive. 1,000. Um, so you really like the chocolate.
I do.
so, it, so
There's
like,
no denying.
before, let me ask you this: was your family okay with it, or did they like, or is this something that you started getting into 17, 18 years old, or you always kind of had that vibe, that feel?
So, because of where I grew up, I
Yeah.
just think dating black men was inevitable.
I,
I was the minority in the neighborhoods that I grew up in. There were no white people. So, I had a very troubled childhood, like I mentioned. So there was no real family unity.
mm-hmm,
So most of my family were my friends, and most of my friends were black.
mm-hmm,
All of my friends at school, all of my neighborhood friends, and so you know, when I thought about what family looked like, I was having meals at tables with my Black friends.
Yeah.
So I've I've never been in a serious relationship with a white man.
Yeah.
I've dated white men,
Yeah.
but I've never actually been in a serious relationship with one. So obviously, first my first encounter with my family was with my ex, and
Mhm.
my family is extremely racist.
Oh
So
wow.
it did not go well.
Yeah.
Um, they would call the police and say that he kidnapped me.
Really?
Called him names.
Are you
Yeah,
serious?
I mean they called my son names.
Wow. I don't
Yeah,
remember. I don't remember these stories. Me and you talking about any of that.
we never talked about this.
No, we didn't.
No.
Well,
Um, I mean, but by that time, I I think my grandfather had passed away by then. So I was
yeah.
raised by my mom, my papa, grandma, grandpa, and it was my grandfather who was super racist. Like he would, I mean, one of his favorite jokes. This is terrible, but
Well, let's
do you remember the?
keep it saucy.
Yeah, I wanted to. I think it's a great thing to talk about
Yeah.
because I do not believe in the whole product of your environment bullshit. Like
Right.
you choose to be a good human or not.
Right.
And I do think that the way that we're raised and what we're taught certainly impacts our lives. But
Yeah.
at some point, you just have to be a human being that makes decisions for yourself. So if I were the person that I was raised to be, I would be incredibly racist, and I certainly wouldn't be dating a Black man, much less be, you know,
Yeah.
on the front lines of equality.
Right.
So
Right.
one of his favorite jokes is every time we passed a trash can, you know, the
Yeah.
trash cans that say BFI on them.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
So his joke was always that trash can was the BFI stood for Black family inside.
Holy
So
shit. Are you
yeah,
serious?
yes.
Wow.
And I actually moved away
Uh,
from my grandparents when I was maybe 15 or 16
yeah.
because my grandfather beat the living lights out of me because of who I was dating.
Wow.
And I actually called my mom and she came and got me and I ended up moving in with her.
Yeah.
And I didn't know at the time that she was racist, but she was too. But fortunately, she loved me enough to kind of work through some of her issues, and we're in a very different place today.
Okay.
Um, and honestly, it's just been in the last 5 years or so that I even found out how my mom felt. But
So it,
no, my family was not accepting. They were
okay, but
very unaccepting.
so from what I'm gathering over the whole conversation here, so you lived in a middle to lower class area in Tennessee, right? Growing up,
Very, very low
and
class.
with you know, so and it's just and your parents and your family members were all not all, but most of them you said were like racist and whatnot. That
Pretty much all of them.
and but you were around
Except
a
my
lot of black
sister.
people though, right? I mean, and
Yes. I
that's
mean, I used to say to my grandpa all the time because I speak my mind. I don't really care what
oh yeah,
anyone
you get
thinks. I'm like,
zero Fs.
I don't. I'm like, how could you possibly expect me to be any other way? Like, you realize that everyone around us is Black. Like,
Right?
what do you want from me? What do you
Is that
expect?
right? What the?
Like, you're pretty much the only white person I know, and you're a pretty shitty white person. So my perspective of white people is
Right.
not great.
Wow. Yeah, that was. I was like, dang, that's just fun, wild to me because like you grew up in an area where there's predominantly black people, and for them to be that way, it's like, what? But dang.
Mhm.
So
But
okay,
it's
so
also why I'm so passionate about racism
yeah,
because I know from the aspect of how I was raised that these type of people exist. They still exist today.
yeah,
And I've been in many, many scenarios with my Black friends where the outcome for them was very different from the outcome for me. And
mm,
we committed the same crime, we did the same thing, but I was able to walk away and continue my life, and they weren't.
wow. Well, I'm happy for you. I'm glad you got out of that situation. Cause dang,
Well,
you like your whole outlook in life would have been totally different. Like had you not made that decision, fork in the road, you go this way, that way. Like
yes.
you decided to
My
go.
grandmother, before she passed away, wrote me this lovely, lovely, thoughtful letter about how much I had changed her life and the way that she saw people, and just really taking a look at people for their character and not for the package that they were presented in. And so I do believe that by the time she had passed away, she was a changed woman, and she loved Corey so much. I mean, Corey was just the most precious thing to her. My grandfather actually wouldn't hold him because he was black.
Wow. Oh
Yeah.
my God. I, I'm sorry, man. I didn't. You telling me some stuff I didn't even know. Like that's wild to me. Jeez.
It's
All right. Wow.
pretty terrible.
Yeah. Wow. Take your drink real quick. I need a.
I know, right? Let's drink. Okay.
What you got some wine? What you drinking on? What is that?
Pinot Noir. It's my favorite.
Oh, okay, okay. I'm over here on some just H2O, but I'm
Oh,
gonna
I've
need me.
got that too
I'm
because,
gonna need me.
you know,
I'm gonna need me a shot after we get through with this. That was deep a little bit. All right, so we gonna move on. Let's talk about your some of your business endeavors here. I got this pulled up over here that I'm gonna pull up real quick on the screen. And
oh, I will say by
yeah,
the time we got to Alfonso, my family
yeah,
was very well adjusted, and
yeah.
they absolutely love, worship, and adore him. I'm pretty sure they love him more than they love me.
Oh yeah. What? That's all right now. He seems to be a real genuine nice guy, and you're definitely crazy about him. So he got my stamp of approval. So that's what's up. All right, so let's check this out real quick. Can you see this on the screen?
Yes.
Okay, so for those who are watching, Crystal is, I mean, she's like lethal, man, with this makeup and hair and stuff. I look through these portfolios. I was like, oh my God, if you in the Georgia area, or I think you do like you said Tennessee, South Carolina, North
So I
Carolina.
service North Carolina, South Carolina, Tennessee, and Georgia.
Okay,
And honestly, I mean, we can service anywhere, but
yeah,
I don't personally travel out of those regions
yeah,
because of my family life.
hmm
A lot of people glamorize traveling for work, and
yeah,
I don't think it's glamorous. I think it's really freaking stressful. Um, I have to be away from my family. I'm living out of a suitcase. So my team will travel anywhere
yeah,
as long as you are willing to pay for it.
right,
But I personally only travel in those particular areas. But in Atlanta, which is the home base.
hmm
So basically, we provide on location hair and makeup services, and we also do male grooming for any man, but specifically for grooms.
right.
Um, and we in Atlanta, I have a team of 21.
Wow.
So,
Okay.
um, and we really kind of cater to the bride and the client that wants to feel like the most elevated version of themselves.
Yeah.
I don't. I listen, the Kim K, the J Lo, the Super B, that's all cool, but I firmly believe that we all have something very special to offer,
Yeah.
and I just want to help bring that out and not cover you up and make you a completely different person.
Yeah.
So we really kind of specialize in like natural beauty, soft, romantic, natural. And we take a really high end approach.
Yes.
Even though we're a large team, we want to offer like a really personalized, high level boutique type experience.
Oh, okay.
Um, it's your
That's
wedding day. It's the most important day of your life as a woman.
well,
Well, mine is
absolutely,
having kids.
absolutely. So let's say somebody's watching this and they want to get in contact with you. Would they go to your bridal and beauty authority.com or do
Yeah.
your Instagram?
So I do respond to every single DM that I receive. You will get a much quicker response if you inquire through the website because it goes through my CRM system, which I check every single day. Well,
Okay.
Monday to Friday. Monday through Friday, because we're on location during the weekend.
So
If you inquire through Instagram, I'll definitely get back to you, but it usually takes a little longer because, I mean, it's social media and I'm not
right,
on that all the time.
right. So the website here, Bridal Beauty Authority, the inquiry tab at the top.
Yep. And if you click on it
Yeah.
from Instagram, it should take you directly to the inquiry page.
Okay, I got you. Okay, good deal, good deal. This is
And
amazing.
I typically respond within 24 hours.
Uh,
If you reach out on a Friday, most likely it'll be Monday before you hear from us, because the bulk of the work that we do is on the weekend. We're on location with our clients, so um, we don't check emails while we want to give our all to them. So we leave the emails for Monday.
okay, gotcha. Cool, man. Well, this is amazing. Like I said, the pictures, the everything is beautiful. You know, your work is on point. I was like, man, Crystal she be doing the damn thing, because it's amazing. You like, to me, I can't see nobody else doing it any better than you. Nobody else on the planet, because the way you get down with it, it's just, I'm like, man, she got skills, mad skills. So,
Well, that
ladies,
means
yeah,
to
go
me.
ahead, go ahead.
I was just saying that means a lot to me. And I really appreciate that you appreciate kind of the natural approach, because I got to be honest with you. Some people think that we lack talent and skill because we don't make someone look like a completely different person.
Right.
And to be honest with you, like, anybody can throw makeup on, anybody can do makeup and wear makeup, but there
Mm-hmm.
is a very special skill involved where you make someone look so polished and elevated without making them look like they have on several layers of makeup. There's a lot of skill involved in that. So I appreciate that you notice it
Yes.
and you appreciate it.
Oh yeah, for sure. 1000%. Definitely gonna use you if we do anything different, or if I got family or something that needs something done down this way. I definitely highly recommend you. So shout out
Well, you better.
your social media again. What's your Instagram?
Absolutely everything is under Bridal Beauty Authority. It's super easy. If you just Google Bridal Beauty Authority, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, website, everything will come up.
Okay, okay, cool, cool, cool. Um, this has been great. You know, like I said, I didn't want to keep you super long, because I respect your time. I totally appreciate you hopping on here with me. This has been great. I hope we can continue to do more partnerships. I want to get with you and get some photos done. You know, I keep trying to get you.
I know, Lord.
So we need to get that
I don't
done.
do photos anymore.
No, hey, you still a model to me in my eyes. Okay,
No,
so
I'm almost 40 now. I don't do that no more.
nah, man, you still good. You still good. But I appreciate you coming on. I love you with all my heart, man. You're a special dear friend to me. I'm so proud of you.
We'll be friends forever.
Yeah.
When you tried to dump me, I didn't let you.
Yeah, I did.
I'm not going to let you forget that.
I know. You're stubborn as
I
hell.
was like, really bad. Is this really what you want?
I
This is
know.
not really what you want. Get your act together.
Yeah, yeah. But hey, guys, listen, guys, girls, y'all make sure to show Crystal some love. Follow her on her Instagram, on social media. If you're ever looking to get something done for like weddings, or any kind of high end makeup, or looking good, or what, all the stuff that she do, feel free to reach out to her. She's like a top shelf, the best of the best here in Atlanta, Georgia area. So I'm gonna put her social media stuff down in the links below, and just reach out to her, give her a follow. But I appreciate you coming on, baby girl, and
I'm glad to do it. We'll do it again.
yeah, we got to do this again for sure. So everybody, make sure to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you'll be notified every time I go live, upload new content. I don't do a lot of live streams, but I'm going to start doing that more often. I think this is fun. It's intuitive, and it's a great way to interact with people and get to know about other people. Beautiful people all around the world got amazing things going on. So that's it for this video, and we'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.